We have some new developments overnight in the film that sparked rage around the world. Investigators are now questioning the man suspected of producing that controversial video. Early this morning, sheriff's deputies removed Nakula Besili Nakula from his California home. Police say they're assisting federal probation officers, but they're not calling it an arrest.
He came along willingly. He was cooperative. Absolutely no incident. He was very helpful to our deputy sheriffs. This whole situation is, it seems to be coming to a peaceful, and that's what all the sheriff's department wants, is to maintain public safety, and that's what we've done.
And the wave of unrest has spread beyond the Arab world. In Sydney, Australia, hundreds of protesters clashed with police outside a building housing the U.S. consulate. They did not gain access to the building, though. In all, the demonstrations stretched from the Pacific Rim to the Atlantic Ocean. And joining me now is Colonel Jack Jacobs, Congressional Medal of Honor recipient and our MSNBC military analyst. He's here in studio with me. Okay, let's talk about, first of all, what happened, the Libya attacks in Benghazi. There are suggestions that these were well-coordinated attacks as opposed to that which first was reported that it was just a mob attack. What's the intel on that?
It was hastily planned, but it was planned nonetheless, and all the evidence points to that. You had small arms, automatic weapons, and rocket-propelled grenades wielded by soldiers who were properly trained in what looked like a tactical attack. So it was planned. I think the consulate was a target of opportunity. There's no doubt about that.
So was it well defended?
Well, it wasn't defended at all, and the State Department has a great deal to answer for. There's no reason why in a place like Libya that hasn't finished with a violent revolution, where a consulate that's relatively isolated should not be defended at all. Now, there's going to be an investigation. There'll be a lot of finger pointing, but the State Department has a lot to answer for in that regard.
Well, indeed, there's also a response that has to come. Tell me what the appropriate response is from the United States when they have killed the highest official, the person who represents our country in that country.
Well, without some intelligence, the United States has no idea who it is. I am told that the Libyan government, such as it is, has promised the White House that it will assist in gathering the intelligence necessary to identify these people. Whether they will or they won't, whether they can or they can, is something else again. Remember that the government of Libya has a domestic support among other people, radical Islamists and other crazies, and it's going to be extremely difficult for them to cooperate too much with the United States, because they're on shaky ground themselves.
Well, are we leaving everything up to the Libyan government to search? I mean, you would think.
No, we have the capability of using overhead assets, satellites,
drones,
and some intelligence on the ground too. But we're not very well situated in Libya to get human intelligence. And at the end of the day, it's human intelligence that really drives the effort to find people. You can use drones and all that stuff, but unless you know where to look, you're not going to be able to find them. And you can only find out where to look if you have intelligence on the ground. That's going to require the cooperation of the Libyan government, which we may or may not get.
With respect to this anti-Muslim film, when you look at it on the face of it, can you believe the unrest that has happened now globally?
One answer is yes, I can. What you really can't believe is how we are surprised, not you and I, but how the American government is surprised. Think about what's happened. Over the last 4 decades, we've supported bloodthirsty despots in a wide variety of Muslim countries. Then, in the space of a very short time, less than a year, we decide now we're going to support their violent overthrow. And then we're shocked that after the violent overthrow of these people we've supported, there isn't instantaneously a Republican form of democracy, and that there's chaos in all these countries. Well, to a greater or lesser extent, we've contributed to it by our policies, by the fact that we changed policies, by the fact that we didn't over a period of 4 decades try to encourage peaceful political change. I think our politicians and our leadership on both sides of the aisle are nuts when they think that you can go from Mubarak or Gaddafi, which is a much better example, to to a peaceful, democratic country, well, we're out of our minds. And we've contributed to it because of the policies of 4 decades.
Colonel Jack Jacobs, this certainly begs further discussion, so I promise you we will have it, sir.
See you later.
Thank you very much.